All right, everyone. So, welcome to the next video on understanding segmentation in PCI DSS compliance. We have been talking a lot about segmentation. Tell me about it, all the way from our networking playlist. Even when we started PCI DSS, we've talked so much on segmentation. But why segmentation? As I said, reducing PCI DSS scope, risks, and costs. That makes sense. If they are not segmented, everything is touching everything connected, then imagine everything's going to be in scope. What of the risk factor and what of the cost? Does organization really have that amount of money just to spend, even for something that shouldn't be in scope? And let's take a look. Segmentation, also known as isolations, refers to the practice of separating the cardholder data environment from other parts of the organization network. Why not a requirement for PCI DSS, but is strongly recommended? Because tell me about it. With all the networking video we've explained, even the scoping that we've explained, actually went through areas, things that cannot be within the scope. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to just, have an environment where you have to spend more? And that's why, what are some of the benefits of segmentation? First, it reduces PCI DSS scope and the number of systems included in the assessment. Remember, if you have like those VLANs, right, you segmented even your network, then you just group what is involved with PCI DSS. It definitely reduces the scope, right? Lower cost of the PCI DSS assessment. Of course, it definitely reduces the cost because if not, then yeah, you have to assess everything, and that can be costly. It also simplified the implementation and maintenance of PCI DSS controls. That makes sense because you got to implement controls for those, devices that are within scope. And what about the risk factor? It definitely reduces security risks by consolidating payment data into fewer, more control locations. So that makes sense, right? Again, these are the things that we've covered. Do you see you have your CDE? This is segmented. You have other network. If they have no direct relationship to PCI DSS, which is great. Even if they have to access PCI DSS, remember when we talk of the different VLAN, you see like definitely reduces security risks as well as the cost, right? But how segmentation reduces PCI DSS? First, without segmentation, if there's no segmentation, the entire network is in scope of PCI DSS assessment, increasing cost and complexity. That makes sense. In one of the diagrams that I told you, or without segmentation, you have the network being so congested, everybody. That's why you are saying that everything will have to be within scope and everything will be considered CAD. You get? Why? With segmentation example, I need to turn my with segmentation example, isolating the CDE in a separate segment of the network means only the system within that segment need to be accessed. Systems that do not store, process, or transmit cardholder data are not included in the PCI DSS assessment, right? Do you see? And this is exactly what we have been discussing, guys. How segmentation reduces PCI DSS. Do you see? Without segmentation, everything is within scope, and it will definitely increase the cost and also increase, security risks. But with segmented, you see, you just segment, identify just what you need for your to be in compliance with PCI DSS, and the devices that literally collects or processes payment card details, right? And you see out of scope, this because it's not, segmented, is out of scope. So apparently we have to differentiate it, right? So if not, then without scope, it means that everything have to be part of it. And likewise, you see entire network in scope, but had it been we have segmentation, these we do not need them, they are out of scope, okay? And I hope this makes sense. But what are some of the methods of achieving segmentation? First, we want to have both the physical and logical methods. Talking of physical isolation, what does it mean? Using separate hardwares, for example, dedicated server or network for the CDE. Remember? Yes, now we start talking about the infrastructure. So you want to use dedicated hardware for that, your router, your switcher, or whatever, but let you have dedicated software connected or related that will handle, anything related to your payment card data pertaining to your CDE, that's cardholder data environment. What of logical isolation? Also using network security controls such as routers, firewalls, as well as access control lists to limit access to the CDE. Even in the course of doing that, remember we also spoke of VLANs. You have virtual local area network, right? And then for example, a firewall that only allows traffic from specific system to access the CDE. Do you see? So having that, of course, you kind of narrow down everything. What of ACL? Access control is ensuring only authorized devices can communicate with a CDE by restricting other network access, right? And if you look here, physical and logical method, network, do you see? Other network, fire or access control list, and then you have your CDE environment. Make sense? Absolutely. So importance of adequate segmentation. One, isolation means that even if an out-of-scope system is compromised, it cannot access or impact the security of cardholder data. It reduces the security risk, and that's one of the things we've covered already. Was a key point here. Segmentation must be implemented in a way that is verified. Do you see? You don't just do I said, I know what, I have segmentation in place. It has to be verified during the PCI DSS assessment to ensure that the CDE is properly isolated. For example, a payment terminal handling cardholder data is isolated from an employee network, which does not handle cardholder data. That is very clear, right? And we did cover, do you see? Payment terminal is separated from employee workstation. That has nothing to do with the payment card data or cardholder data. And that's why with firewalls and all the different network security controls that we've mentioned, once they put it in place, you definitely separate it, segment it to definitely, put stuff that are out of scope and also reduces the security rates and eventually the cost for the PCI assessment. Then the next video, we'll have to go through the role of data flow diagram. Remember now everything is making sense, right? We just said that PCI DSS is really big on networking. So when they give it architectural diagram, the flow, how data flow from one place to the other, how you even able to tell. And let's meet, in the next video and see what we got or what I got for you all. And do not forget to subscribe, like, just support this channel. You all are doing an amazing job and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.